Hi guys, so it's been a while since I made a video. This video today can be useful for both men and women, and it's about the 10 things that you need to advance in this world, whether you want to advance in business or just to differentiate yourself and be able to live a life of impact or a life that is successful and prosperous. So I said earlier, I've said in previous videos that a beautiful woman that has the IQ of a monkey can still lead a very good life. But if you give a man an IQ of a monkey, he's going to be a homeless man. He's going to be living in the streets. It is because men have no intrinsic value. We normally say a man has no value. And I'll give you an example. I've seen cases where women that we work with can just say, that they're tired or they're frustrated by their boss and they resign and they go home. It's because a woman can just go home and become a mother, but a man cannot go home and become a father. The only reason that a man is valued in the society is because of what he can do, what he can produce, what he can develop, what he can build. But women have the intrinsic capacity to become mothers and to multiply and to give people they consider legacies. They can increase the sizes of communities through their womb. Men cannot do that. We normally say that sperms are cheap and eggs are expensive because one man has millions of sperms. He can impregnate several women. But a woman has to be pregnant for 9 months at a time. So this video is very, very important for people who are interested in increasing their value. By no means is the list that I'm going to give exhaustive, but it's going to give you a rough idea just in terms of what you need in order to advance in life. So one thing you have to realize in life again is that in most cases, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. If you're broke, that is what you're supposed to be. And know that because that doesn't mean that is where you must be, but that is where you're supposed to be, because your life is a sum total of all the decisions that you've made. And James Allen says in his book, As a Man Thinketh, the inner garment, which is your mind, determines the outer garment. And we normally say that the cream rises to the top, and your attitude determines your altitude. There's this experiment that has been done, or you can also do it. You pick sand in a beach, put it in a jar, shake that jar, shake that jar. When you shake that jar, you'll see that the big pebbles or the stones, they'll come to the top and the small ones will go to the bottom. If you turn it upside down and shake it again, you'll end up with the same result. In the same way, you know that right now, 1% of the world's population holds 90% of the world's wealth. Okay? If you took that money, you decided capitalism is not fair and all that, and you redistribute that money to everybody in the world, give everybody an equal share of the world's wealth. In another 10, 15 years, the rich people will be rich again. And so what it goes to show is that wealth actually comes from the things you do, the things you believe, and the kind of person that you actually are or you've shaped yourself to be. So that's what I want to tell you guys. How can you become someone that is of value? How can you advance yourself in the world? What do the rich people have that the rest do not have? So the first thing is ambition. You must be driven. You must want something from this world. Many times, if it's something that is impactful, the better. Because normally we say money chases value. So if there's something of value that you want to give to the world, then in all likelihood, the world is going to reward you with money. The world is going to come to you. The world is going to pay for your product or service. The world is going to pay to listen to what you have to say. And the world will just pay to get the value that you have. So have some ambition, have a purpose, have some desire to solve a problem that humanity is encountering, make their lives better. Bill Gates gave us computers, Zuckerberg provided us with Facebook, social media, and so on. So long as you're providing a solution to a problem, the world is going to reward you. So have some ambition, be driven, be ready to do the work, be ready to do the sacrifices that it requires to solve the problems. Many times, the problems are not simple problems, are intractable problems. The more complex the problem is, or the more impact it has on humanity, the likely it is that the reward is going to be big. That's number one. So have some ambition. Number two, you need to develop capacity. Okay? You develop capacity in terms of the volume and quantity of work that you're going to do. I'm an author myself, and my 7th book, Unplugged, became the Nairobi bestseller, and is still a bestseller now. And I had to develop capacity. Success does not come in an overnight fashion. I wrote 6 books before I actually blew up. We normally say that there's a compounding effect of efforts. So you must be ready to pay the price to build the capacity. Even if you look at musicians and even athletes, they normally take time to develop before they become champions. So that's the first thing. You must have the capacity, volume and quality, and also so that when success comes, also you are ready. Okay, we normally say that be prepared, so that when the opportunity comes, you don't need time to be ready. Okay, so that's very, very important. The second thing is competence. And here I've seen friends who have businesses, they have opened businesses, and they are struggling. But when you give them an opportunity, maybe to deliver something to you, either product or a service, they do it very poorly. Either they're going to delay in the delivery, or they're going to give you substandard product or service, or they're going to overcharge you. Okay, so they're not competent. And normally that is what determines whether you get repeat business or not, or whether you get referrals. So you really have to be competent. You need to understand whatever it is that you're doing and do it very, very well. Actually, it's normally say that what you need to be happy or successful in this world, it doesn't matter whether you're a doctor or a painter or a lawyer or an architect or a YouTuber and so on. The most important thing is that you pick something and do it well. If you're a very, very good painter, your paint work or your paint job is going to give you a lot of opportunities. Probably you're going to open a big company that is specializing in painting, or you're going to start a painting farm and so on and so forth. So the important thing is competence in that particular field. Whether you're an artist or a footballer and so on, just be very, very good at what you're doing. So that is number 2, that you need competence. Okay. And then, that is number 3. Okay, competence. Number 4 is versatility. You need to be versatile. Okay. And versatility also comes with outcome independence. Versatility is what is going to make it possible for you to persist. We normally say that tough times last. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Whatever business you're doing, there are going to be tough times. The economy could change. You remember, when COVID came, a lot of businesses closed and so on. So, and also, as I mentioned earlier, developing competence also requires a lot of persistence, because many skills, many competencies, they take time to develop. So if you're going to just give up very fast, then you're not going to be able to develop competence. The other thing is about versatility also is being dynamic. Okay, you need to be able to pivot. So for example, my first 6 books were books of fiction, but my 7th book, which did very well, was a non-fiction book. You need to be able to make decisions and not just be rigid. Have the ability to read your environment and be able to make decisions on the move. Okay, that is about being versatile. You need to be persistent, but at the same time, you need to have a balance. Being flexible and persistent at the same time. That is what we refer to as versatility. The other thing you need to have is courage. You need to be brave. You need to be able to take risks. Normally, the biggest risks yield the biggest rewards. Okay, and courage is very important, because courage is what is going to be able to make you differentiate yourself from the pack. Many people are afraid of differentiating themselves from the rest, because people will stop you when you want to differentiate yourself. For example, the next book I want to write is going to be about religion. Many people have discouraged me from doing that. And even when I was writing my book Unplugged, many people thought it was very controversial and so on and so forth. But you have to be authentic. and you have to be able to have the courage to see the value of what it is you want to do, and to be able to make a decision against the approval of others. Okay, people will not approve of what you're doing, but so long as you're true to yourself, your conscience is clear, and you've made the decision to go that way, just go that way. It's going to yield results. So courage is very, very important. Otherwise, you're going to blend in and become a nobody. Okay. The seventh one is charisma. You need to, and charisma is basically your energy, your personal quality. Charisma is what is going to make you attractive to people. Let me give you an example. As an author, we have people who have big channels, YouTube channels, like Caroline Mutoko, who have a lot of followers. And it is the case that many authors who have been featured by such influencers who have a lot of followers, their book sales have gone up. And one of such people is Lynn Ngugi, who interviewed me recently. And I've known that there are authors who've approached her, but she charged, and they're not able to afford whatever she was charging, because it is not cheap. She has the camera crew, she has to pay salaries, she has to pay for electricity, she has bills to pay. So it makes sense that she will want to charge and not allow you to come to her show for free. But she invited me and did not charge me. Okay, it is because of the kind of energy I was bringing, the kind of content I was talking about, and basically the kind of value I will bring to her in terms of the audience that I command, and the way I'm speaking about contemporary issues. So it's very, very important to be charismatic. Do not copy paste. Be authentic. Embrace your own identity. Okay, your uniqueness. Your uniqueness is what makes you attractive, and that is what we call your charisma. So be authentic. Don't copy paste. Don't try to be a copycat. Don't try to blend in. Don't be afraid to be different from others. Don't be afraid to have your own voice. That's your charisma. Is very, very important. Okay. So the other thing that is related to charisma also is your chemistry. Be ready to blend with others. Don't be so disagreeable. Okay. Collaborate with people. Be able to network. Be able to be relatable to others. Be able to make connections and be able to have friends and so on. So chemistry is very, very important. That is what is going to draw people to your cause. If you have a cause, if you need support. And I think it's also because of that I had my friend from this comedian from the Wicked Edition, Dr. Kingori. He also invited me to his show, which also helped my book and gave me a platform to spread my message. So chemistry is very, very important. Related to that, of course, is your network. We normally say that your network determines your net worth. So choose your friends wisely. If you're hanging around with friends who are broke, who are making excuses, saying how much life is difficult, who are just hanging around and blaming their parents or politicians about their circumstances in life, then you're not going to move. So have friends who are smart, have friends who have similar ambitions, who are equally driven, who are also in the journey of personal growth, people who can inspire you. Those are the people you're going to follow. A number of young men also have this problem where they're following socialites who have big nyash, who are beautiful and so on. And you're invisible to them. You don't get any value from them other than wasting time following the thirst traps that they'll be posting. So your network and your connection is also very, very important. Okay. And then also very, very important is your habits. The personal habits are very important. We normally say that if you are not driven and you don't use alcohol or drugs, you've already solved 80% of your problems. So discipline is very, very important. How you spend your time is what is going to determine who you are. Your attention, guard your attention. Okay, we normally say you need to guard your meat, your money, your energy, attention, and time. So your habits are very, very important, and how you spend your energy and your time is going to determine whether you're going to advance in life or otherwise. Okay. And then lastly are your business skills. You need to have business skills. You need to, very important is you need to be able to advertise and market whatever it is, their product or service. You need to be able to take care of your customers. You need to be able to just count your money and have common sense. Like any business that promises you a profit of more than 20% profit margin, most likely it is a con. You need to be smart. Otherwise, you'll also find that people will take advantage of you. You need to be able to track your profits and losses. You need to be able to get your best suppliers. You need to be able to ensure that you get basically the best staff. The people you employ are going to be people who are going to be the ones that are handling your customers and so on. Have situational awareness. You need to be able to read situations and make decisions. Okay, so those are very 10 very important skills and qualities that you need to have if you're going to advance in life. I'll see you on the next one.